doing our live in just a second. Just getting all of our technology set up. Oop, that's why we're doing this. Need to minimize instead of expand. And I'm just going to make sure that we're live on Instagram. For those of you who are joining us, give us just a minute as we get everything set up. And I see us live on Instagram.
It's the first time we did it right. Congratulations. So why don't we go ahead and get started? So I'm in debt. You're in debt. We're all in debt. Everybody in America is in debt, unfortunately. CNBC just reported the other day that because of the rising costs of pretty much everything in America, and with wages staying stagnant, even despite the Great Resignation, that household debt is up 6.2% from this time last year in 2021. Can you believe that?
Give us the thumbs down or share your thoughts on that, right? What do you think of when you think of the fact that household debt in America has gone up 6.2% compared to this time last year? That's a lot. I mean, right? For a family of four, adding another 6.2% to their debt, which is typically household debt runs at around $15,000. That's a pretty staggering amount, right? So we want to talk about how or help you how you can tackle that. First of all, a couple of things. One, if you're on Instagram, please follow us on Instagram. Follow at Debt Free Guys. Also follow Smarty Pig Savings at Smarty Pig Savings. We're doing some partnerships with them this year. You're definitely going to want to watch those lives. And one of the things that we want to remember here is that if you're wanting to participate in the Great Resignation, right? There's a lot of people who want to whether it's to give your boss the middle finger or to move to something that makes you feel more appreciated or feel more connected to the work that you do. A lot of that is going to be held back unless you reduce your debt. Right? Being able to move to another job is a risky thing to do, right? And if you have a lot of debt, that may be one of the things that prevents you from either wanting to do that or the ability to do that. And you know that on the Queer Money Podcast and on our Debt Free Guys feeds on all of the platforms, John and I like to encourage more LGBT folks and folks in general to pursue financial independence. Some so that they can retire early, or just some so that they have the freedoms that financial independence can bring about. Financial independence is really, really difficult to achieve if you have a lot of debt, whether that's credit card debt or student loan debt or other types of debt. So that's what we want to tackle today, is we want to tackle some of the ways that you can eliminate your debt.
Yeah, as many of you know, that David and I, our background is that we had $51,000 in credit card debt, and we were able to pay off that debt in under 2.5 years. And then we've also helped folks pay off. So our goal right now is actually to help you, as many people, pay off as much debt as possible so that you could pursue the Great Resignation without fear, or so that you could also pursue financial independence, retirement early. Which brings us to our topic for today.
Right. Our topic today is actually sharing with you, as we said, the 5 best steps when you're trying to pay off your debt. And these are basically the foundational steps of our debt lasso method. Debt lasso method is actually faster than the snowball method or the avalanche method in helping you pay off your debt. And it was actually featured in the Quebec News Tribune, a newspaper in Canada.
Yay, Canada!
It was featured in that newspaper yesterday. So we're really excited about that. It is the methodology that we used to help us pay off our $51,000 in credit card debt in under 3 years. It's also the system that we have used to teach other people how to pay their debt off quickly. We've helped a group of people pay off over $500,000 in credit card debt in the last 3 years. Actually, one of our initial students announced to us just several months ago that she had finally paid off $60,000 in credit card debt in under 3 years.
Now she's completely debt-free.
Right, she's completely debt-free. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that is by following the debt lasso method.
Right. So what is the debt lasso method? Well, it's basically 5 steps. The first step is to commit. You've got to commit to not acquiring any more credit card debt, and you must commit to sending a specific dollar amount to your credit cards every single month, ideally more than the net total minimum monthly payments that you're required to send. Then second step is to trim, and that is to, with whatever amount of money you've committed to sending to your credit cards each month, if you're able to pay off 1, 2, or 3 cards in the next 1 or 2 months, go ahead and pay off those cards quickly, get those quick wins, and feel like you're making some progress.
The third step is the lasso portion of the debt lasso method. And really what this involves is the biggest inhibitor to you being able to pay off your credit card debt quickly. And that is high credit card interest rates. When you're paying 15, 20, 25% every year on the balance of your credit card, when you're sending payments every single month, really what more often than not, you're paying that interest and not paying the balance of your credit cards. And that's why it takes so long. So what we want to encourage folks to do is to lasso their debt, their credit cards, into as few locations as possible with the lowest interest rate as possible. Now, there's a number of ways that you can do that. You can either do that through a personal loan, or you can do that through zero interest credit card balance transfers. We know that during early pandemic, there were a lot of issues around individuals being able to access those, but they are much more common today. So that's the third portion. The fourth item here in the debt lasso method is to automate. A lot of folks have a problem paying their credit card debt off because they have to make the decision every single month which bills to pay, right? When you turn your credit card debt into an automated payment and you're making those payments every single month, well, that just makes it a lot easier for you to not have to make the decision as to which credit card to pay or which bills should I pay. It all becomes an automated process, less for you to have to think about when you're on your journey to paying your debt off. And then the final step is to monitor. And really the idea behind monitoring is that you're checking in every month to check to see, have I paid a bill off? Do I have some additional need to make sure I pay? If I've paid a credit card off, where do I shift that balance that I was paying on that credit card? Which credit card or which bill do I shift that to now? And that's the monitor portion.
So if you want more information and more help with the debt lasso method, we have a comprehensive tool that you can get at debtfreeguys.com. Go to download the 7-step credit card debt slasher. It's also linked to in the description, either above or below us, depending upon what platform you're following us on.
And then make sure you join us next Wednesday, again, around noon Eastern or 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. Pacific, where we're going to be sharing 5 myths about what it means to be a rich queer person. You'll be interested in what those myths are. We have some very interesting topics about, we'll have some very interesting discussion about these myths and why the queer community has them.
And don't forget, again, to follow Smarty Pig Savings as well as Debt Free Guys on Instagram. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.